guys, and as you guys all know, the Switch has been getting a pretty steady supply of awesome games lately. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is out, Splatoon 2 is just around the corner, and just a little bit farther than that this coming year is Mario Odyssey, and those are all games that, of course, everyone was wanting to play, myself included, and I'm stoked for that. But with that said, guys, there are games that aren't quite as good. Not everything can be a smash hit. I'm your host, as always, K-Mac Time, and today I want to go over the top 5 Nintendo Switch games that aren't worth buying. Now, before we get into today's list, I just want to say that these are my own personal opinions, so if you guys happen to like one of these games on the list, don't be flaming me in the comments saying, K-Mac, that game's awesome, you're an idiot. Well, that may be so, but it's still my opinion, and these are just based off of what I think. And a lot of it's based off of, is it worth the money? Is the game worth it? Would it be worth $5? Sure, but is it worth $60? Absolutely not. That's kind of the thing that I'm putting into this. But with that out of the way, guys, let's jump right in with our first game, 1-2 Switch. And now, while this game wasn't a packing game like it should have been like Wii Sports, it should have came with the system, it should have been free, then I wouldn't have shit on this game as much, because as it stands, the game is a full retail price, and that is just unacceptable to me, because the game just doesn't deliver that much fun. In fact, it's almost zero fun for me personally. Now, you may like some of the mini games, you may like the little things they have in there, you might like the party games they have in there and play with your friends and that. I don't. And for $60, when you can buy a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the same price, it's a no-brainer that I'm going to pick this 110 out of 110 times. That is just wow. And there's just no reason why that game should cost anything at all. It should have been a package game. It should have been a demo game. It should have been free. Very least, it should have been a $5, $15 game. Something that you guys can pick up in a bargain bin just for a tech demo, for a party that you might want to play. But a full retail on that is absolutely insane. I mean, a few of the mini games are kind of fun, but most of them are just kind of boring and gimmicky. It feels like a tech demo kind of showing off what the Joy-Cons can and can't do. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't need a tech demo to let me know what the thing can do. I've played this enough to know already. And while I can't say it's by far the worst thing I've ever played on the Switch, it's not that bad. It's just not worth the money, and that's a big factor, because gaming on a budget is something that I do. I don't have unlimited funds to buy every game that comes out. I'm not getting free copies from Nintendo either, so I have to be smart about what I pick up, and that game to me was a slap in the face. Definitely not worth the money. The next game I want to talk about is Has Been Heroes. Now, this is a game, and yes, I know it has a physical release, not many physical games out right now, and it only costs $20. So it's not that pricey. It's a bargain game, and I has that going for it. I really like that. And then you can buy this at GameStop for 20 bucks, $15 used. Great price point on this. But personally, I think the game is incredibly too hard for people who haven't mastered the strategy of it, or might be new to a strategy type of game, myself included. I wasn't a huge strategy kind of player, not something I typically play, not a huge fan of the genre, but I thought for, hey, 20 bucks, I'll give it a shot. You know, I like to have physical media, I don't like to download as much, and it's something new to play on the Switch. And I had a hell of a time just even playing this game. I played this game for over 2 hours, and still haven't beaten the very first level. It's like, holy shit, it comes at you in these like waves, and it's intense. And if you're like me and you don't really know what you're doing in strategy-based games, and you don't really get the tutorials fully, it can be extremely challenging and extremely frustrating. Like I said, 2 hours of this game could be the very first level. I consider myself to be a hardcore gamer. I play lots of games. I play lots of Nintendo games. I can't imagine what a 10-year-old playing this for the very first time would like do. They would, if I struggled, then I don't even want to know what a 10-year-old would have in this game. Maybe they're just smarter than me. Maybe they could beat it. I'm not saying every 10-year-old in the world can't beat it. Some out there probably can, but I can't, and I don't feel like many people other could. I feel like it's a good price for a game. It's just not the game that I would recommend. I would rather spend that $20 and put it towards an eShop game, you know, a Snake Pass or something, I Am Setsuna, something along those lines, a much better value and a much better game in my opinion. Another game that I just didn't care for is Dark Witch Music Episode Rudy Michael, I don't know how you pronounce that last word. It's basically a port of a mobile game. It's set in the Dark Witch universe, and I'll be the first to admit I don't know a damn thing about Dark Witch. I've never played any of them. I don't even know what they're about at all. This game seems kind of anime-ish. I'm not sure if that's what the games are about, but this game is like I said, it's a mini game. It's set in that universe, and it's a rhythm game. So basically, you push buttons on the joypad or Joy-Cons, and it syncs up with the timing of the balls coming at you. And if you hit the right time, it stops them from hitting you, and it does attacks back at the enemies and that kind of thing. And it's very simple, mindless gameplay, and it does what it does. When you put it on some of the harder difficulties, I mean, it's okay on easy and normal. You can play those no problem. Started getting in the harder settings, shit starts hitting the fan, and it's really fast-paced, and it's hard to keep up, which I don't really mind that much. I would like some challenge in my games, but the thing about this game is there's not much replayability there. It's kind of just mashing buttons, and that's it. And there wasn't a whole lot to it. It's very repetitive, and the game is only 3, 4, 5 hours long, depending on what setting you play it on. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing for a game to be short. It doesn't overstay its welcome necessarily, but I want more from a game I'm spending money on. Yeah, it wasn't the most expensive game. It was only like $7.99 in eShop, so you're not wasting a ton of money. You're not spending $60 on this game. You're not necessarily getting ripped off. I just don't think it's a game that's worth it, personally. If you're a fan of the Dark Witch series, enjoy the characters, enjoy that universe, then this might be something for you. But like I said, I've never played those games. Personally, to me, it wasn't worth the $8. It's something I played one time, probably never play again, and I'll probably forget that I even own it because, of course, I own an eShop copy. Doesn't have a physical. So eventually, it'll probably get deleted off my memory for other space, and I'll just forget I even purchased it at all, and I'll never play it again. So basically, wasted $8 on it. But what you gotta do? You gotta try all these games out. But definitely one you guys can skip over. Our next game is a classic board game, and the Switch version of it is pretty good, actually. And while the game itself, like I said, isn't bad, in fact, it's like really good if you like Othello. I mean, if you're not familiar with Othello, it's a classic board game. Like you flip over white or black circles, and if you can try and clear the board if you're touching them, and I don't know. It's hard to explain the rules of Othello. Either you know how to play it or you don't. It's been around for a long, long time, and it's been on about every like mobile platform ever. So it only made sense that they would bring it to the Switch. I see what they're trying to go for. Like a mobile on-the-go board game, something to kill time on the commute to work on the train or at the airport. Something you can play with your friends, online or connect play. And I get that, I really do, and I understand what they're trying to do here. But the thing is, it's just so boring. It just, to me, it's not worth it. It's only cost $5, and that's not saying that's a terrible price point, but you can get the same thing on, I believe it's on your the iPhone or Android shops for like 99 cents, and it's basically the same thing. And it's, yeah, it's a difference between $1 and $4, not a huge deal, but it just isn't something I would ever want to play again. I played it, like, all right, this is Othello. I've played Othello before. I played the board game. I've played it on my iPad before. I don't need to buy this again. I don't need it on the Switch. Now, if you don't have it on your iPad, or if you've never played the board game, something you won't be interested in, like a quick puzzle game kind of thing, maybe. But for me personally, I can't justify this purchase. It's only $5. That $5 can be put towards Blaster Master Zero, or even towards a full retail game like Street Fighter 2. Even though those games are more expensive, that $5 could go towards a better game and really stretch your play for that money out more. And that's what I like to do. I like to spend money, and if I'm going to spend money, I want to get the most bang for my buck, and I just don't see that in Othello. I just don't see any replayability. Wouldn't see me ever picking this game back up other than to just try it the first time. And again, a game you should probably just skip over. And finally, the absolute hands-down worst game on the Switch is Broom in the Night Sky, and it's something that absolutely nobody should ever spend a dime on unless you were into torturing yourself or into just, wanting to make your eyes bleed, because this game is awful. The best way to kind of describe it is is like a spiritual successor to Superman 64. And if you're unfamiliar with that, that is unanimously voted one of the top 5 worst video games of all time. So you basically, it's like an on-rails flying sim where you're on a bike or on a witch or on a broom as this witch. You're flying around trying to go through these loops, these circles. And yeah, it's fucking awful. It's so boring. It offers nothing. There's no replayability. There's no fun to be had. It's just such a boring game. It's more of a chore to play this game than it is fun. And there's absolutely, like I said, nothing good to say about this game. It's outstandingly awful in just about every possible way. And it cost $10 whole. For that, you guys can go out there. You can buy Blaster Master Zero. You can buy some other like games, Tumble Seed, Snake Pass. All of these games are way better and way more worth your money than this pile of crap. And how this game slipped by Nintendo and got onto the eShop and was approved, was greenlit, I'll never know, because like I said, it's a steaming pile of dog shit. And the only reason to play it is to say, hey, I've played the worst game on the Switch. That's pretty much the only thing. It's like a novelty now. And it's gotten more notoriety because it's universally known as the worst game. So everyone's like, how bad could it be? Maybe I'll give it a try. And that's why it's pretty much one of the more better known eShop titles, actually. But anyway, guys, that's all I have time for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know what your least favorite Switch games are. Do you guys have games that you don't like? What are you guys playing on the Switch? I would love to know all that down in the comment section. Also, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch videos, retro gaming, PS4, Xbox One, Steam, all kinds of stuff going on the channel. If you guys are new around here, please subscribe to get all those updates. Check out some previous videos I've done on the Nintendo Switch games or on Xbox or PS4 games. All kinds of great videos. Links in the end slate and description. But until next time, guys, remember that's always came back time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.